Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana hobby guy. So, black, white, gray, 20-watt fiber, what does all that mean? Well, I have been diligently working on library settings for you guys, really for me, on anodized aluminum. And these are, I guess I can't hold it that way. These are some of the test grids that I've been running. And you have to run test grids in order to dial in your power settings, your frequency, your speed, and all that kind of good stuff. So I think most, not most, but a lot of people don't realize how important the test grid is. So today my goal was I have a customer, even though I don't do customer orders anymore, I'm doing one, just as a favor for an attorney in New Orleans. And I used to do, a long time ago, I used to do his business cards all the time out of these anodized aluminum. And I get these for 100 of them for I think $16, something like that. And I charge $125 for 100 business cards. And they mainly only go to, the upper class doctors, lawyers, CEOs, things like that. When they want to give out a business card to impress somebody, as an example, this attorney has his regular business card folder in his suit. And on one side, he's got the aluminum cards, and on the other side, he's got the paper cards. So, it's a sort of like a dress to impress kind of thing. But there is a big market for these cards out there. I'm going to tell you, especially like in high-end car dealerships like, Cadillac, Lincoln, Mercedes, some of the higher-end cars where money's no object. So, okay, so what about the white, black, white, black, silver? Okay, white, black, silver, gray, actually, but I haven't gotten to the gray part yet. So on these cards, he wants a logo of the fleur de lis, which is like the state logo, with some kind of maybe football design around it, which I did a couple of years ago for him on another project. So he wanted me to reuse that graphic. But he wanted the center of it to be in white. So what I had to do was I had to figure out, it's sort of haphazard the way I've been using my fiber laser. And the last week or two, I've really buckled down, and I've started putting together these test grids, and for all different materials. And yeah, I got the base library off of Alex's website, Laser Everything, and I used the conversion to convert it to my 20 watt. But you know what? None of those settings work. So I'm revamping this entire library as much as I can, and then the things that I don't do, I'm just going to delete out of them. In the end, it's going to be my own library, since none of those settings work for me on my Raycus source. This is I'm putting together my own library, and that's pretty much the reason for this video. Is to explain to you that you do have to put together your own library. You have to test the materials that you're going to use, and in order to get the results that you're looking for at the speeds and powers that you want. So, not to make this introduction too long, we're just going to jump right over into Lightburn, and I'm going to show you an example of the graphic that I've redesigned and how I redesigned it to burn exactly the way this customer wants, or I should say this friend wants. So let's jump into Lightburn and get started. All right, so this is my test piece right here, and I've brought the camera out over here so that you can see what's going on. This test piece is not the original graphic. Let me come over here to my library. Let's see. This is the original graphic right here. And let me show you what I did. And just, you can do this with your graphics as well, with any graphic just about. So what I did was I have to make the center white, so I have to put that on another layer. So I came up here and ungrouped it. And then now in the fill mode, which if you come up here to Window, and you go to Filled Smooth or Filled Coarse, either one. Either one of those is going to give you a filled look on your screen so that everything doesn't look like that. You know, you can actually see what the design is going to look like without having to preview it. You can also come up here into the settings, and if you come up here in the settings, there's a button right here that says Filled Rendering. You can turn that one on if you want to. Either way. But anyway, so what did I do here? I just ungrouped it. That's all I've done. And I need that center part to be white. So what I did was, very simply, drag that center part off, drag this one off, delete it, and put this one back. And that's all I did. Really, really simple. Now, if you hold Control and grab it by the middle, you can do little tiny movements on it to get it just perfect. And then all I did was put it on the blue layer like that. You see? So, really easy. And you can do the same thing with other parts of the graphic as well. Put them on different colors. And I really like that because let me show you. Oops, I left a couple pieces there. Let me show you what I did here. So I've been working on this library like I told you. And over here I've got a couple different colors that I'm going to use for these aluminum business cards. And they're going to be, it's going to be white, gold, dark gold, light gold, medium gold, silver, you know, stuff like that. So I've already done some images up here, as you can see, dark gold image, light gold image. We're not using an image today. Today we're doing vectors. So in here I've used the bright white setting for that blue layer. And let me show you. So if we come up here, so now the first one is the black, as you can see right here. So on the black layer, I've got 120 and 30. On that black layer, we want to have dark gold. So if I come over here to dark gold and I edit that, you'll see that it is 120 speed, 30% power, and 80 kilohertz, the frequency. So that is my, I guess you call it my preferred gold. I think that one came out the best. Now I have some other golds that came out much higher speeds, up to 800 millimeters a second, but this was the color that I liked the best. So that's the black. And then if we come over to here, you see we have this one at 1065, and that is my bright white. And if I come over here to edit, you'll see it's 1065. The frequency is 25, and this one has a crosshatch. I get a light white when it does the first pass at 0 degrees, and I get a bright white when it does the second pass at 90 degrees, and you'll see that in a minute. So that's my setting for that one. And then finally, I've got this green line around here just to show you that the silver color. And if you look at silver over here, let's take a look at the green. You'll see it's 1000 speed, 50 power, and 20 frequency. And this one is only 254 lines per inch, whereas let me see what the other ones were. Yeah, 254. That's all really neat on the vectors is 254, as opposed to over here on the images, I run them at 800 DPI. So these are all my vector tests that worked out. That from these test grids that I did, I picked what I thought to my eye was the best color. What you think is the best color to your eye, well, that's another story. So that's why you have to run these test grids. So let's go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk to the back right now, and I'm going to drop a business card on here. We're going to run this job so you can see it. I'm going to drop a business card on, turn on the machine. It's going to get noisy in here. I have to turn on the smoke extraction. And by the way, don't worry about it being an open bed like this. My smoke extraction on the fiber laser is below the table. There's a 4-inch cutout in the bottom of the table, and there is a 4-inch hose that comes up. So all of the holes that you see here are sucking in from my smoke extractor, and that is 1100 CFMs. So there's never a bit of smoke, dust, nothing. The dust stays right on the bed, as you can see there. It doesn't even expand out. All of the area out here is clean. You only see a little bit of dust right here. But yeah, so that's all safe. So I'm going to go back there and make some noise, and we'll get started. Now it sort of sounds like a hurricane in here, and that's all those holes sucking the air through. But let's go ahead, and we've got everything set up here. We're good to go. So let's come over here to the laser and hit start, and you'll see that it automatically starts to frame. And if you look closely, that line back there on that bar is just a reflection. If you look really closely in this corner, you can see that the border is in the right spot. And I know it's kind of hard to see in the video, but my frame is right here. So I don't have to frame because I've already done the framing before, and I've put my tool path up here, so I know exactly where to design. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hit the start button, let this run. Let me close this and get it out of the way. If you look here at this, you see the locks, the crosshairs. That means that graphic is locked. So that is my framing graphic. Now, if when I was setting this up, I put these 2 blocks, aluminum blocks on here, or stops, and then I selected this graphic. I did start where it started to frame, and then I used my arrow keys to move it so that the framing was lined up exactly over here on these 2 blocks. So very simple to do. So now you can see the gold takes a lot longer because it's a much slower speed, and I guess I could have done a higher speed, but the text goes pretty quick. There you can see the 2 passes on the white, and there is the white center, and then here comes the silver border around the outside. And I'll just go pick this one up. So after all is said and done, this is what we get. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is a wonderful look. I think he's going to be very happy with it. I'm going to send him a picture of just the logo. I'm going to redo this again. Send him a picture of just the logo and see what he thinks of it. I hope that light isn't distorting this image. I'll throw up an actual photograph of it anyway. But you can see that the outer box is silver. So we've got the silver on the outer box, we've got the white text, we've got the white center of the fleur-de-lis, and the gold graphic itself. So I think that looks pretty awesome, on these business cards. You saw the time that it took to run this job. It was job completed in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Now, there is going to be a lot more writing on the business cards, but the writing doesn't really matter. That's just a couple seconds. This graphic is going to be much smaller. There's going to be 2 little graphics, this one here and another one in each corner, and then the letters in between. So it's probably going to be about 50 seconds, 55 seconds, something like that. Maybe even less, maybe 45 seconds for the whole project for the final business card. So let's say a minute. Let's stretch it out to a minute. I do 100 of these. That's 100 minutes. It's a little over an hour and a half. In an hour and a half, you take a box of $16 business cards, turn them into 125 bucks. How could it get any better than that? All right, so one of the biggest questions that comes up is, and I'm using the Monport 20-watt fiber laser here with the Raycus source. And one of the biggest questions that I get from people is, I have the Monport 80-watt, I have the Monport 40-watt, I have all these Monport lasers, and people have been asking me and, well, making comments and things like in a couple private messages that I've gotten. You only talk about these machines because you got it for free. Well, let me tell you folks, I did not get these machines for free. I paid for all of these machines that you see here, and especially in these videos. I didn't get any of these machines for free. I got a discount, just like the discount that I'm offering to you guys with my coupon code. But I did not get any of these machines for free. In fact, the only machine that I've gotten for free from Monport just arrived in the shop next door, and that is the 40-watt Lightburn, so that I can do a test on it, a regular review video. So, like they've done with some other people that are out there. But as far as these machines go, I've paid for all of these machines. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, right out of the gate, because it's when I shop for lasers, and the first thing I look at is value for the dollar. So price point. So what's the difference between buying this 20-watt fiber or buying one from OhmTech or buying one from any other company that's out there, a 20-watt Raycus source fiber laser? Well, there's virtually no difference. So basically all I did was shop price. And that's actually how I found Monport, was shopping price. So there are very few factories. There are tons of companies in China that make all of these parts, but very few factories that assemble them. And a lot of these machines are coming from the same factory. So, why would you spend $2,800 on a 20-watt laser when you can get the same thing for under $2,000 with my coupon code? And that's the purpose of me doing these videos and the review videos that I do, is so that you can get an idea of whether or not you're getting value for your dollar. So, and you see that, like with my diode series, I do a lot of budget diode lasers. And, that there's a reason for that, because most people are shopping on a budget. But I can tell you that, not to ruin anything, but I have got a new commercial 450 by 450 24-watt diode video on a budget coming out real soon. You're going to want to watch for that one. You people out there, this thing is an X2 killer, so you're going to want to watch out for that video. That's coming out soon. But anyway, so why did I do this video today? So this video today I've done because, well, I've sort of entered into a relationship with Monport where I'm helping them with their technical support. And I have to try and explain to people that buy these lasers and have no idea what to do with them, that the same thing with any other laser. In any of my other videos, you have to run a test grid. That's on every material. That's just the way it is. And I wanted to talk about what you see online in YouTube and so forth about people that they dive so deeply into this rather than just getting started and doing some things. Yeah, when you get it, there's some fine tuning that you have to do. You have to align your red dot outline. You have to align your red dot pointers. You have to set up your machine parameters. But that all takes just a few minutes to do, maybe an hour in an afternoon, and you're done. You're ready to start testing. There's no need to spend hours upon hours upon hours upon hours diving so deep into the science of these machines that it sort of paralyzes you from making anything. The whole idea of getting this laser is to make something. So just jump right in. Just jump right in. Run your test grids and start making things so that you feel satisfied with your purchase. Because you don't want to spend half the time on the laser worrying about the science behind it. Forget about the science behind it. And you know what? All the science is wrong. So I'm not going to say it's wrong, but unnecessary. You have to have a perfect focus. No, you don't. There's no such thing as a perfect focus. When you start doing your tests, I want you to do your test in perfect focus. Yeah, you can find that perfect focus spot, but you know what? You don't need to make a a stick or anything else, or use a measuring tape. Just mark that perfect spot and work from there. And you'll find things like, here is some slate that I'm working on, and I'm trying to get different colors. Well, that one up there is the perfect focus up on top. This one down on the bottom is 5 millimeters defocused. So which one looks better on this slate? And I can tell you that I'm still working on the slate and stone and things like that, and there is no such thing as running a slate job in perfect focus. The best results that you're going to get are going to be defocused on the slate. And there are some materials where the best results that you're going to get is going to be anti-focused. So don't focus so much on the science behind this. Start using it. Start playing with it. Do like I did here. Get it in perfect focus, and then start moving it up and down. And you'll see that's defocused. So I went anti-focused up on the top with the little one over here. I went perfect focus here, and then I did defocus there. And I ran a couple of these slate coasters at all different focuses. And 5 millimeters is a sharp, clear, 5 millimeters defocused is a sharp, clear image that you just can't beat. And it's actually a little whiter than this one. I should have got the other tile. I'm not going to get up and get it now. But I got a beautiful white color, and it's just wonderful. So another thing that I noticed too on the slate tiles is I can get the white, I can get gold, green, I can get yellow, a bunch of different colors by changing frequencies and changing focus. So now I'm working on a library where I'm putting notes in there with the setting that says, defocus 5 millimeters, defocus 7 millimeters, things like that. So I just wanted to talk about that. And then why the 20 watt? Well, I have the 100 watt next door, and I have a specific use for that. So, I donate the special 6-month and annual coins to AANA, the brass coins, and I do their designs, and that is a big time saver. So that 100 watt is a huge time saver. Of course, it's also got frequency range from 0 to 2,000, something like that. The 20 watt that I'm using only has a frequency range from 20 to 80, I think. And 20 to 80. And that's basically all I need for what I'm doing. So, it's what are you doing is the next question. Are you going to be making these challenge coins? Are you going to be cutting metals with it and things like that? Or are you going to be, doing light engravings and annealing and things like that to metal? So what do you need it for? Most people don't need a 100 watt machine, or even a 50 watt machine, or even a 30 watt machine if you're just doing hobby stuff. And that's why I chose the 20 watt, because I spent probably 4 months researching this and looking at projects that other people were making. And I found that 20 to 30 watts was going to be my sweet spot for fiber that I'm going to use every day. And I also found that the 100 watt is going to, and now I do have some projects that I have some 0.04 millimeter metals that I want to cut into certain shapes, and then I'm going to bend them, and you'll see in the future I'm making these little projects out of metals, and sort of like artwork. So that is the purpose for the 100 watt, and really it sits in there covered and doesn't get any use at all, except maybe once a month or so when I go to make those coins. But that's about it. The rest of the time, this 20 watt is working out just perfectly for me. In this, with these lasers, I see so many people online in the forums and discussion boards and Facebook groups and talk about, I wish I got a more powerful one. Why? Why do you wish you got a more powerful one? Because somebody else did a coin? Well, you can still do the coin. It's just going to take you 4 times as long to do it. So if you're going to do the coins, get the higher power. no doubt about it. But if you're like me, 90% of the things that I'm going to do, that 20 watt's going to work perfectly, and that's why I have it. So with all that out of the way, oh boy, I thought this was going to be a short video. I really kept within the time frame in doing the presentation of the actual product itself. But, you know, then like always, I get off on these tangents, and I hope this is stuff that you guys want to hear and want to know about. So spend less time on the science and spend more time making stuff, because that's what being a laserologist is all about. We're makers. Let's get out there and make something. I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.